close your eyes. Imagine yourself in a room, and you are currently living your darkest situation. Either parents got divorced, got into a car crash, and your best friend is sitting next to you, and they know everything about you. But in another room, in the same situation, you are with another person who knows nothing about you. Now, with your best friend, since they know everything about you, they're able to relate to you more. They're able to really empathize with you because you're comfortable telling your story, telling them what happened. But in this room where you don't know this person doesn't know you, what are you supposed to do? You can open your eyes. The solution may seem simple, but in reality, it's not. And in fact, you have to tell your story. And that's scary. It's really scary to think about how you tell your story. But thinking back to the situation, you're in a room with this person that you don't know, how are they supposed to empathize with you and give you help on the situation that you're going through? You have to tell your story. But in order for you to tell your story, you have to understand the differences between empathy and sympathy, even when you're the person giving advice. So what is sympathy? We use these words and we don't know what they mean. We use them all the time. How do I go back? Oh, okay. We use these words all the time, not really knowing the differences between them. But in reality, they have a huge difference. And there's words like compassionate as well that go along with it. With sympathy, it means that you can understand what this person is saying and be like, okay, I understand. Like, it's going to be okay, everything is fine. For example, if you're with somebody who got a divorce, or with someone whose parents got a divorce, but you've never gone through parents' divorce, and they don't really tell you the story, they just say, okay, my parents got a divorce, I'm in my room, I'm crying, I don't really feel like I'm my best self. You say, okay, I don't know how to help you, you're not really giving me that detailed explanation of what's going on. So you feel sympathy. But when you feel empathy, they're telling you that story. They're telling you, okay, this is what happened. This is why my parents got divorced. This is what I've been feeling. And you're really able to step into their shoes and understand what they're going through. That's the biggest difference, is physically or mentally understanding what they're going through. Now, these two can be blurred together, and we don't really know what the difference is unless we're feeling it. So, for example, if we are watching a video about somebody who has breast cancer or any type of cancer, like the St. Jude commercials that we watch on TV, you start crying and you're just like, what's happening? I'm like, gushing water, this is not okay. And you're like, what's going on? And you're feeling empathy regardless of whether or not you want to admit it. But you're in this place where you're vulnerable, you're stepping into their shoes with a person's story, you're understanding how they feel. And with this connection, you're experiencing something called mirror neurons. Now, mirror neurons are scientific, hard to explain, but basically it's kind of like monkey see, monkey do. And when a monkey sees what someone else is doing, they start to respond in that way and start doing it themselves. And with a situation where you're watching somebody who's going through chemotherapy or has these mirror neurons, like you're kind of like a magnetic wavelength. You can't see it, but you're transferring these neurons and really understanding how they feel. And that makes a huge difference, especially when you're trying to give somebody advice and really understand where they're coming from. Now, to really understand this, how do I press play? No? How do I press play on this? Oh.
I think millions of people every single day are able to sympathize with people's stories. You look at a video or you hear the story that's been put on social media, a picture, it's like, man, like, that sucks. Like, I'm sympathizing with Puerto Rico, like, it sucks. It sucks what's happening there. But I think the difference between sympathy and empathy is like caring and understanding at the surface that something's wrong. Understanding that there's a problem and, like, I know that's not right. Like, that, it's kind of like using a statement like, that sucks. Like, I can't imagine what you're going through and that sucks. Like, that's sympathizing with somebody. Empathizing with somebody is being able to feel or experience, or you have experienced the same thing that person literally gone to Africa or lived in a foreign country or have, for whatever reason in the United States, been cut off from their water supply for 2 weeks because of a power outage or something, whatever, they can empathize. Like, they literally felt the water crisis. They felt it. Once you empathize with a cause or an issue, then I think you become that much more passionate about it. Sympathy is, again, it's like surface level. It's not cheap because it matters, because, I mean, you're saying you acknowledge that something's wrong and you care, but there's no feeling behind it. Like, you can't fully relate because you haven't been through it. I think empathy is like saying, I've been there, and it sucks, and I know that you're hurting. And sympathy is like, I can't imagine. I've never gone through what you've gone through. And that's the difference. Right? Empathy is like, yeah, I got you. Like, I lost my dad. It doesn't hurt as much as what you're going through right now to a friend that's lost their dad, but I get what you're going through. And sympathy is kind of like, I don't get what you're going through, but I know it sucks, and I know it's hard.
Does it make you empathize more now that you are able to do the water crisis or live through the water crisis yourself?
Yeah, it really makes me feel kind of selfish in the fact that I take myself for granted. Because I was born here, and I don't even think about the fact that I have water 2 feet from me all the time. I can fill up a water bottle in like 8 different places in the school. And these guys have to walk 4 miles to even get water for like washing their hands and still go further. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's super unfair. And I feel really bad for them.
Does this really open up your eyes to what the water crisis is like?
Yeah.
Does it make you feel different walking with it than hearing it?
Yeah, because you haven't experienced it versus just, like, you're like, oh, yeah, that really sucks, but you just don't know how bad it is.
What do you feel that's different, even in this, like, not even 5 minutes, like a minute of walking with it? How does that differentiate between just watching a video and going out and doing this yourself?
You get to experience it, and everything is more powerful when you experience it firsthand.
Yeah, perfect.
You have to be somebody who will have great perspective. You have to have a big perspective. You have to know that. And you're going to figure this out early on, but you have to hold on to this perspective that the world is bigger than the problems that we face in the United States. The world is bigger than the problems that students face every single day. Of like, this boy, this girl doesn't like me, or this class is really hard, or my homework is overwhelming, or my sports coach is just a jerk, my parents suck. Like, those are problems. But those problems pale in comparison to what hundreds of millions of people face every single day. So holding on to that perspective that the world's a little bit bigger than me, and maybe, just maybe, I got it pretty good.
Some of you are asking, what is the Thirst Project? What is this video that I just showed you? For those of you who know my story, know that I work with an organization called the Thirst Project, and they go and build water wells in third world countries that don't have access to clean water. And I can go on a rant or on a spiel about this because I can literally talk about the global water crisis for hours, but I'm not going to do that. I really emphasize the point about empathy and sympathy, and this video was just a short glimpse about those people that really understand what it feels like when they walk with the they call it a jerry can, or walk with that jug of clean water. And these people in the video actually went to a presentation, and I had them really focus on how they felt during that presentation and how they felt being in the shoes of the person they were watching in the presentation, which, as you could see and hear by what they were saying, it really changed them. Being in the shoes of that person, walking with that can, and understanding what it feels like to really empathize with these people, change their perspective on how they feel about the global water crisis, how they feel really helping people. And with that, not only is it so important to really understand where someone's coming from, but you really need to put yourself in the position to know what you're doing. For example, if you see an ad on TV and they say, okay, donate to this animal shelter, donate to the St. Jude, but you don't know where your money's going, you don't know what these people are going through, and sometimes you're not going to be able to. Sometimes you're not going to understand what these people are going through, but you have the chance to dive into their story, to dive into the stories that they tell about people so that you can empathize with them, so that you can feel like what you're doing will really make a difference. So my overall statement for you guys is we're going to be applying to college soon. We're going to be applying for scholarships, and as scary as it is, we're going to have to be telling our story. We're going to have to get out there, and we're going to have to put ourselves in the position of other people telling their story while also living our lives as well and telling our story. So, what's your story? Thank you. Wow, I completely skipped over that slide. I was supposed to switch slides, but it didn't happen.